Hey, so if you are in the coaching space and you're already doing one-on-one and you're wanting to know how do I move to one-to-one to one-to-many and do something like a group coaching or group cohort program, well, there's one problem you have to figure out. How do you get enough people to sign up all at once so you can have a start date and an end date to your group coaching program? So that, my friend, is usually done using a live webinar. In today's video, I'm going to show you my 5 steps to set up a simple live webinar that is all in Kajabi with your link joining from Zoom. So this is really simple to show up. In fact, Kajabi does about 80% of the work for us. So really my video is going to show you how to start that, create the generated funnel for yourself, and then how to edit all the pieces so it works perfectly for you. Also in this video, I'm going to show you my step-by-step guide that I've created for you. It's really what I use to help my clients kind of pre-plan what the webinar will look like in order to have all the details in place so I can build that funnel efficiently and effectively. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. Let me show you that guide so you can see the big picture and know what to gather first. And then I'm going to show you the 5 steps on setting it all up in Kajabi. Let's go. So before we dive into Kajabi, let me show you exactly why you would want to set up a live webinar, how it's going to help your overall business, and then actually how this webinar funnel works. Like, what's the big picture? Where are people going? Let's dive into my guide here. The first thing I want to say about live webinars is that they are typically used to launch a higher ticket group coaching program, which means that program starts on a certain date and then ends on a certain date. Usually the high ticket programs are around 90 days. So if you want everyone to start, let's say on September 15th, then you need to have enough people to be aware of it and convert enough people to purchase that program before that start date. So that's why people use live webinar events. It usually has a higher conversion on higher ticket programs because people get a little bit of a taste of your teaching style and really get more confident on if that program is right for them and you're the right guide for them as well. Additionally, live webinars are great tools to build your overall list because you are inviting people to learn about a topic that is going to lead people to your overall business, right? So it's a great list building tool as well. Some success tips I went ahead and added on this form for you or this guide for you is that if you want to do a successful webinar, you need to start with the end in mind. So you want to determine, well, what program am I selling with this particular webinar? So you want to determine that program and the offer before you even start on the webinar details. Secondly, choose a webinar date that has at least 4 weeks, maybe 4 to 6 weeks of promotional time so you can get your audience prepped and ready for them to jump on this webinar event the moment that you open the invitation. So for example, if I have a program that starts on September 15th, I'm going to have my webinar about 10 days away from the 15th. So maybe I'll have the webinar event on the 5th, which means I need to have some promotional time. We call this a pre-launch runway about 1 month before the event. So that means on August 5th, I'm going to start talking about this particular topic that my overall program is going to help people solve completely. But the topic is going to be talking about the promotional content around the topic should be talking about the pain points, the struggles, the case studies that I've helped people, pull through this program or pull through this problem and help them solve, some opportunity costs. So you're really focused on this one topic. So then you're going to open the invite if my event's happening on September 5th. I have to keep all these dates in my head. September 5th. Then I want my invite to this event no more than 10 days before the actual event. So if I backtrack here, now we're talking more about August 25th is when I start inviting people to this event. I would say it's closer to 1 week before the event. Okay, so let me talk to you about this overall image here. So this is how the funnel works. And notice this is for a free webinar funnel. If you're wanting to do a paid webinar, it's going to look slightly different from this one. So just know that this whole setup is focused on doing a free webinar to a paid program. Okay, so you have content going out about this topic. This content is going to be talking about the topic. Now, eventually you're going to start inviting people to sign up or register for the event. And so that's when you need this next part of the funnel, which is your webinar registration page. When people register for the event, they are then going to land on a registration confirmation page. And if you have something like a webinar or event workbook, this is where people could be able to download that file. So you can have a download file here. Additionally, when you have someone register for an event in Kajabi, this event does not automatically land on their personal calendar. So you can use a tool like Add Event, which I've linked in this guide, to help people say, okay, I've confirmed that I'm registered for this event, but I want to make sure to add it to my calendar. So you can provide them a button to do so with using a third-party tool like Add Event. Okay, so they've registered for the event. Now what? Now Kajabi is going to start sending out some pre-webinar emails automatically based on that date and time of the event. In each of these emails, they're going to get that Zoom link. So they'll have it multiple times. So whatever webinar email that they come across and click open, they have that link ready for them. Then you're going to host that live webinar on Zoom. And then after the webinar event, Kajabi will be sending post-webinar emails that's going to send people a link to go to your program sales page. This is the free webinar funnel that Kajabi creates about 80% of it for you. It's really exciting because you don't have to figure out like the automations and the forms and all the emails and when do they go out and scheduling them. Kajabi does it all for you. So I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. Scrolling down here, additionally from that graphic, so you know how the webinar starts, this is what I want you to focus on. And honestly, I've watched a couple different YouTube videos about how to set up your live webinar in Kajabi, and they don't give you this part. So I wanted to give you this piece so you can prep before you start to go into build mode. This is what I use for my own clients. So this is my pre-build checklist. The first thing you want to determine is what is the offer you are selling in this event. So if you don't have that offer already set up in Kajabi, I've linked my Kajabi offers video so you can know step-by-step how to create that offer. Next, you need to create your Zoom invite link by creating a Zoom event. So go to Zoom, go into your account, create the event, and then grab the join link, the actual link that Zoom generates for people to click on and join the meeting. This is what you want to paste in here for yourself. Next, you need to have your webinar title already created before you go into Kajabi. So I've given you 3 different frameworks for some of my favorite webinar high converting titles. Something like how to desire result without the struggle they're avoiding, or number steps to desired results without struggle. So something like 3 steps to do exactly what they're looking to do without the struggle that's holding them back. And this last one is my favorite. So to go from here to there, so where are they, where do they want to be? And you are going to give them the system or the blueprint so they're very clear for whatever their desired result is. So go ahead and play around with those title frameworks here and plug in your title. Then use an AI friend to help you generate the webinar subheadline. The subheadline is very important because it really tells people exactly what they're going to learn in this time with you. So you want to generate your subheadline and more AI prompt for you. You want to make sure that you actually have the copy, the words that are going to go on that registration page. It needs to be very compelling so they are apt to take some action, put in their name and email and register for this event. So I went ahead and gave you some AI prompt to go ahead and give you page copy for your registration page. Okay. Additionally, I wanted to remind you, if you want to have a workbook, then you want to create that PDF file, maybe in something like Google Docs or Canva, download that file to your computer so you can upload that to the confirmation page in Kajabi. Secondly, if you want to use a calendar invite tool such as Add Event, then I went ahead and linked the video from Add Event showing you just how easy it is to create this in their tool, and then the link that you go ahead and provide people on the confirmation page for them to actually add the event to their calendar. Okay, now I want to show you that I have actually started working through this on an example. So I have all this plugged in, so I'll show you step by step. So this is actually step 1. Pre-build checklist, step 1 of 5 of creating your live webinar in Kajabi. So what are the other steps? Let me go to this next part here. Steps 2 through 4 is the actual setup. So the first thing we're going to do is to go into Kajabi. We're going to grab their new Zoom webinar funnel because it does so much work for us. We're going to add in all the details that I asked you to prep in the pre-build checklist. Then we're going to edit or update the pages that it generates for us. So it's for our event, it's for our audience, it's in our voice. And then lastly, you're going to be able to update the pre-generated emails, add a couple words, change a couple words, and it's all ready for you. Okay, let's dive in and do this thing. I went ahead and started filling this out for myself for a webinar that I want to do in the future. So I'm going to slide this over here so we can look at Kajabi. And the very first thing we want to do is go to marketing in the left side menu, find funnels, and go to add a new funnel. So I'm going to click on new funnel here. Okay, in the funnels, let's just take a quick peek at all the funnels that are available to you in Kajabi. So if you're thinking, oh, Nicole, I just want to do a sales page funnel, it has it right here for you. It gives you a page plus 8 email sequence. This is called a sales sequence, a freebie funnel, a coming soon or waitlist funnel. So if you have a program coming soon, you can start gathering people's contact information. You can do a product launch, a Zoom webinar. That's the one we'll be using. We have a free book here, coaching campaign, and a simple sales page. So you also have a blank here, and you have some legacy funnels. There's more in there. So let's go ahead and click on the Zoom webinar. That's the one we're going to be using today. So I'll click get started, and here is actually the next step, which is to put in your details. So I'm going to go back to this pre-build checklist. This is why I ask you to prep this before you go into Kajabi, so you don't have to stop right here. I'm going to grab my title, plug it in. I'm going to grab my join link that I've already created in Zoom, plug that in here. I'm going to say a date and time. Okay, I'm going to pick my time zone. And then I'm going to select the offer that I'm ultimately going to be pitching at the end of this webinar training. So what program am I going to be selling at the end or inviting people to? So let's say it's my idea to income, marketing strategies, and systems for coaches. And let's click create funnel. It's going to work magic here, people. So give it a second. It's going to build out the entire funnel. And as we do, let me come back over here so I can show you we have that subheadline and some page copy just by using this simple AI prompt. It gave me a ton of copy to work with. I don't have to use all of it, but I have it here if I want to. Okay, we'll go back over here. Let's see this Kajabi magic. All right, let's look at this funnel together. The first thing it has is our registration page. This page is super simple, but very powerful. In this page, we have simple copy here. We have the form. So this is the opt-in form. The name and email is already created for us. It also has the event. So essentially when someone opts into this form, they automatically are registered for this event. That's perfect. That's the automation that we need. Next, we have the actual event, because when someone registers, they're registering for this event, which means any automations connected to this event will start happening. And I'll show you that in just a moment. When someone opts in, they're going to go directly to the confirmation page. Very simple confirmation page. It says, thank you for registering. Check your email for how to access this live event. And it also has a countdown timer already counting down to the date and time that I put in when I started building the funnel. And next, it has the sales page. So when you're having people go ahead and attend the event, they're going to be after the event, they start getting post webinar emails, and those emails are sending people to this sales page. It's a very simple, easy sales page. And any link on this sales page, any call to action on this sales page, is going to be sending people to the offer checkout page. Okay, so this offer checkout page is the one that I selected when I started building this funnel in the detail section. Okay, let's go to the guide here so we know the exact next step. And right here, so we have selected marketing, funnels, new funnel, Zoom webinar. We put in the details, it did the magic, and now our next step here is to go ahead and to edit or substitute landing pages in the funnel. These are our landing pages. We have 1, 2, 3 landing pages that we can update, edit, or we can substitute out for landing pages we've already created that are already existing in our landing page section of our website. So let's click on registration page just so you can see how easy it is to edit this page. What I love about this is that you actually go directly into the page editor from your funnel without losing your place where you're at in your funnel. So I can see all the funnel pages on the left and I can see my editor on the right. So this registration page, like I said, is very simple. There's no header, there's no footer, because essentially you want to give someone one option. No decisions have to be made here. Either they're going to opt in or leave the page completely. So what you can do is any text, you can click in this box and update the text. So for example, my webinar title here, I can see there's a space for that. I'm going to go ahead and grab my title again from my prep page, copy that, come back over here and just add it right there. Hosted by, I can add in my name. Okay, and I'll just put in, okay, accolades there. Great. So what we have also here is the date and time already placed in when creating the webinar, so no need to update that. The last component on here is going to be the actual form that's already generated for you. So I want to update this just to have a little more branding on it. I can just click on here. It goes to the form itself. Like I said, here's the form it generates for us. And I'm going to go down to the button and I'm going to select the background color to be a little more brand aligned. I can also change the text right here to something like save my spot, right? Something that's a little more closely related to how I would say it. Lastly, I want you to see that on the form, when someone does this action, where do they go next, right? So right now, when they opt in, I want them to go to a thank you page, but what thank you page? The thank you page that's already created for me is this confirmation page, and it's the next step in the pipeline. That's why it already has that right here. So I actually don't need to change anything if I'm just going to allow them to go to this next confirmation page that I'll update in a second. So the next step, next pipeline step, the reason why it says that is because Kajabi used to call funnels pipeline. So it's just the next step in your funnel. All right, so this is my registration page, simple and sweet. If I wanted to update this background, I'm just gonna click in the background section, background area, and then go to background. Notice that my background is set to an image, and then I can upload any image that I want here. Also notice that there's a filter over this image giving kind of a darker cast to it, so it's easier to read that white text. This is where that darker image cast is on it. So I want to make it more transparent, right? I can lighten it up, or I can make it darker here as well. So notice that is where that darker filter is coming from. All right, I'm going to click save to any edits I make, and let's move on to that confirmation page. I don't have to really go anywhere, just click on the next page in the funnel. We're skipping over the event because I'll show you that's the last step. So here's my confirmation page. Same thing, I could update it with the same picture so they know that they have just registered for the event they were just on. And you can add some different text here. This date and time is already based on the date and time I provided, and this countdown timer is counting down to this date and time. So I really don't have to do much on this page. Just update it a little bit so it sounds like you. Instead of saying thank you, you could say something like you're in, or can't wait to see you there, or you've joined the party, right? So make it more like you are speaking directly to them. Okay, also on this page, this is where you can have them download their workbook. So what you could do here is just click into, let me go back here. So right now I am in the sections. We have a text, event, countdown timer, text, event, countdown timer. I'm gonna go ahead and add a content block, and I can do a call to action, which is just a button. And I can say, and actually I can make this call to action, I don't need to make it that big. I can make it on maybe that big, and I can say download your workbook. And here my action is going to be drop down menu. I'm going to say download a file. And this is where I can pick that PDF file that I've downloaded to my computer. So that's how you make it really easy for someone to grab the materials that they need. Additionally, if you want them to use that add event, go ahead and watch that video so you can see how to add the add event link to this page so they can click on a different button that says add it to your calendar. All right, I'm going to hit save here, and now I'm going to move on to the sales page. So this sales page is very simple. This is their simple sales page template. I think it's only 4 sections. Yeah, so we have a call to action, the main header. So it's like the name of the offer, the program. They click here, they go to the checkout page. You have your 3 benefits here. You have a testimonial, and then you have the same call to action at the bottom. Very simple. And the reason why it's so simple is because you're doing so much of the selling on the actual webinar. They're learning about who the program is for, what outcome it's going to help them achieve, how does the program work. They're learning a lot about you. They're learning about other case studies and other clients that you've already helped them to create this outcome. So a lot of the selling is already done. They don't actually need that huge long form sales page. this will do. So if you update this one, this is a sales page that those post-webinar emails will be sending people to. Okay. And when they click on any of these buttons here, it's going to take them to that offer page that you have already told them, the details, what offer are we selling at the end of this webinar. So let me go back one here. Let's say, for example, you already have a sales page for this program. You actually don't want to use the generated sales page here. You want to use your sales page. So all I need to do to update this and substitute out that page is to hover over in between where I'm going to replace that step. So after the confirmation page, they start getting those sales pages. The sales page or the post webinar emails. I'm going to click add page. It's an existing landing page that I already have. Click next, and I'm going to select the landing page, the sales page that I want them to go to. So maybe it's something like, trying to find one I have here. Let's just say it's this one here. Okay, I'm going to click save. It's going to pull in that landing page to my funnel. The next step I need to do is go ahead and remove this sales page. So I'm going to take this out. Okay, take that out. And it's updated with the landing page that I want it to go to. So we have landing page, registration page, confirmation page, the sales page, and the checkout page. Okay, so let me go back to the guide to see exactly where we're at in our steps. We have just edited or substituted the landing pages in our funnel. The final step is just to update those pre-created webinar emails. So let me show you exactly where to do that. Now we're going to click on the event. This is the thing, this is the trigger that sets out those emails based on that date and time. So I'm going to click on the event and you will see the 9 pre-generated emails for you from Kajabi. So here, this is an event in Kajabi. You can see the title, the date and time the event occurs, and the time zone here. So you can still update that information right here. Now we're in the event actions over on the left-hand side, and notice that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 emails. These are pre-webinar emails. And you can see the cadence. This is at time of registration, 2 days before, 1 day before, 15 minutes before. Then we have the actual event taking place. And then we have 5 emails, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 emails that go out after your event. So 1 minute after event, 1 day after event, 2 days after event, 3 days after event, 4 days after the event. Okay, so these are already pre-created for you. But I do want you to go into each email, click it, and open the editor so you can change any of the wording and add anything you want. One thing I do want to point out is that it gives you a subject line here that I actually like more than this one. The email subject line it gives here is very direct. It's like, this is number 1, email number 1, because it's trying to tell you what email it is over here. So I just like to update that here with the actual subject line it's providing in the copy. Next, notice the double brackets. Double brackets here tells me it's pulling data from the system. So I don't want to touch anything there. It's going to pull in that person's actual first name. And then anything in a regular bracket is content they need you to update. So go ahead and write in your webinar name there. Again, this is double bracket, not touching it, right? It's going to give them what they need. And here's what I'll be covering. So it's giving you a suggestion, insert a numbered list or bullet points of the topics that you're going to be covering. So it's giving you really some copy suggestions here as well. If you want to fancy it up a little bit, something I like to do is give a little space on the top here and go ahead and insert an image. And I like to insert an email banner. So something like 1600 by 400 in Canva will give you a nice email banner. You can also go ahead and input your webinar thumbnail image so they know this is going for the webinar that they registered with you. Okay, so after you have updated all your emails, notice that you can also add an email that doesn't already exist here. So if I go down to the bottom, I can click add email. It's going to give me a blank template here. And first thing it's going to ask you is, when do you want this email to go out? Because remember, it's all based on the date and time of that event. So I can suggest at time of registration, at time of event, before event, or after event. If I choose before event or after the event, then it's going to ask me, well, when before the event, right? So it's going to say, okay, I'm going to do hours. Let's do 1 hour before the event. I want someone to get a reminder. I'm going to put my subject line here and the body copy here, and let's just hit save. And then you'll see it'll show up in the right place according to the event actions. Okay, that is how you update your emails. And that, my friend, is the last step of setting up your live webinar. I really want you to try this out. It's not as scary as it seems. You can even just invite people on your email list if you wanted to keep it small the first time around, but know that you have everything you need in this guide here to set it up really easily in 5 steps. If you're looking for this guide, again, it's down below this video. And additionally, if you're thinking, Nicole, this sounds great, but I need to set up my account first in Kajabi, I have a present for you below. It's my 90-minute setup checklist. So you can go exactly through what you need to set up your account and even create a product to sell on this live webinar. And if you don't yet have Kajabi, but this has actually pushed you over the edge now that you've realized I can do live webinars and market and sell these products in Kajabi, yes, you can, my friend. Go ahead and find a link below for a 30-day free trial so you can get this all together and sell your first product before you're even charged for being a Kajabi user. All right, so if this helped you, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. I have more amazing Kajabi videos and resources to help you build the business of your dreams as the expert with the earned expertise. I will see you in the next video. Bye.